In the words of the current host of Family Feud, Steve Harvey, this is big. Since December to now, I have been wanting to smash some big sixes regarding intellectual rights and the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? For too long now, people have been paying hundreds of dollars just to watch cable. But within the last second, or should I say within the last several months to the last decade, there have been lots of pushback and removals, which I will get to right away. Hello one and all, this is Tyrell Ordain, aka the Cricket Rockstar, welcoming you all to another video. So ladies and gentlemen, for years now, cable providers have been charging us, the viewers, for these channels, getting them basically for free, alongside the local Trinidadian networks in CNC3, CCN TV6, TTT, and the list goes on. However, within the last decade to now, the Telecommunications Authority Trinidad and Tobago, who also goes by the abbreviated name TATT, alongside previous governments and local providers and US companies, have basically failed to do its act in the interest of not just the customers, but also the consumers in its entirety. You might remember back in the late summer of 2015, mere weeks before the 2015 general election, the same Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago called on cable television providers to remove 16 channels for which they do not have the required intellectual property right, which is the IPR. The channels that were told to be removed were ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, CBC, City TV, CMT, the Comedy Central, PIX, Encore Western, KTLA, MyTV, TLC, USA, VH1, and WGN. Flash forward to 11 years today. 11 years later, CBC, City TV, CMT, Comedy Central, PIX, Encore Western, KTLA, MyTV, TLC, USA, VH1, and WGN were gone by late 2015. And now add Fox to the list of channels no longer on the respective cable channel lineups. Just a few months ago, you guys may be aware that Flow removed all four of the big networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox from its channel lineup and replaced it with a set of rubbish networks, which basically has reruns of the same shows that has aired on television over the years, over and over. Keep in mind, all cable providers were told to phase them out of the lineup by December 30th, 2025 for Fox, April 30th, 2026 for NBC, August 30th, 2026 for ABC, and December 30th, 2026 for CBS. Another thing that must be kept in mind, and that is the 2025-2026 television season wraps up in the second to last week in May, meaning two things. You could miss the back end of your favorite show's ongoing seasons, and if they don't get the respective intellectual property rights to run the US networks, it would be removed from the cable channel lineup for good. So far, Flow has been the only network that has removed all the big four networks. The other networks, Digicel and Player, DirecTV, and those stuff, are doing them by phase. They already phased out Fox, that's gone. Within the next month, NBC is on the chopping block. Then 3 months later, it will be ABC, and then at the end of the year, CBS. So what will people have to watch on television? Now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I do not watch cable anymore. Let me be very honest. The only time I would watch cable is when the Caribbean Premier League is on. That's one. The Olympics, which is every 4 years. World Cup cricket and World Cup football. Mind you, the World Cup football is this summer, and we do not know which local station is actually televising that, because Fox is gone, Russia and all those other channels as a set of Qatar's old shows and those stuff. And then IPL starts next weekend. We already know Russia has the rights to that. Most likely, it will be the same thing for World Cup football and maybe one of the local television networks. You never know. But let's face it, ladies and gentlemen. For the last 10, 15 years, and this is not fiction, it's actually a fact. It's not biased, it's unbiased. Within the last 10, 15 years, ladies and gentlemen, the local news landscape in Trinidad and Tobago hasn't been neutral, to say the least. People are tired of the biasness, the same narratives. And yes, it's just like those in the US. But here's the difference between news people in Trinidad and Tobago and in the US. Right now, you see CBS trying to acquire Warner Brothers and go on the white ring, just like with Fox. Let me rephrase that out, folks. For the last 10 to 15 years, the local news landscape in Trinidad and Tobago hasn't been neutral one bit. People are basically tired of the bias, the same narratives. And yes, it's just like those in the US, or should I say globally, that have a political narrative. But I'm not going to call any journalist names, this one, that one, etc., because I'm not looking for any lawsuit or any trouble. But when we switch to the international networks, or whether it's ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, or any of them, you're getting the different perspectives, the professional production. And let's be honest, people that you can trust. And I'll add Al Jazeera to the list too, and Telesur, because they have always been unbiased. But within the last 10, 15 years, local networks alongside some of the main big networks haven't been unbiased, to say the least. And that is one of the reasons why I'm not calling nobody name, because I'm not looking for no trouble. My other question is, what is next for the viewers? Will they be boycotting cable completely and switching to Androids or Fire Sticks or any of those streaming platforms, etc.? Let me know what you all think about the intellectual property rights and the removals of ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox from the cable channels, not just here in Trinidad alone, but around the Caribbean. I want all of their thoughts on it. So till then, folks, be good to one another, be nice to one another, and take care. Bye-bye for now.